Hey everybody, it's Julie. Thanks for joining me here today on the Creative Retreat YouTube channel for some Bible journaling. I'm using the January Faith Art Box and the Faith-Filled Digitals. This collection is called Spirit Powered, and it is powerful. I'm here in my interleaved Bible, and I'm starting off getting some tumbled glass Distress Oxide ink on my page. I want to go very light-handed. I'm using a blending brush, and I'm going to go ahead and do some smushing too. The verse that I'm journaling, I'm here in Acts chapter 1, and it says, "But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you. And you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem and in all of Judea and Samaria and to the ends of the earth." I'll talk about that verse in just a moment more. But right here on screen, I took some clear packaging and I applied that ink directly to it. And then with a wet paintbrush, I wet that ink. And then I was able to use that both to paint, to highlight my verse, and also to smush over on the page. It gets some nice light color. I'm using this stencil, and it's the flower stencil, and I use my two-way glue pen, and I'm going to let that dry, and that provides a temporary adhesive, which helps me to stencil without the stencil moving around. And before I do that, I took one of the stamps from the stamp set in this month's kit, and I am doing some tone-on-tone stamping. I used one of these flourish stamps. My thought here is because this verse is about the Holy Spirit and the power of the Holy Spirit, that's why I went with that light blue color scheme, and I really want just kind of a whooshy. I know that sounds random and weird, but I wanted to have kind of the movement in the background, like wind, like the Spirit. So that's why I had a few just of those flourish stamps. It looks kind of like they're blowing in the wind. And then this particular flower is it's beautiful, and it's just in the background, and it just adds a little bit of texture and dimension. I love these stencils. This is the flower stencil, and it is listed in this collection, the Spirit Powered collection. So I used one of the stamps, the little three-piece kind of a flourish, a splash almost, and I highlighted the verse over on the left page. And now I'm going to be doing some other stamping. I've pulled out the Planetarium color ink from Creative Retreat, and I'm going to stamp this flourish as a border on my page. Now the cool thing about these photopolymer stamps is you can manipulate them. So I changed the shape of it a little bit and made it straighter so that it would work with my border here the way I wanted it to. So what I'm focusing on here is the two words, power and spirit. Now this passage is Jesus speaking to the apostles. It's after he's resurrected, before he ascends. And they said, Jesus, is now the time that you're going to defeat Rome and you're going to just really do your thing? And Jesus says, "It is not your time to know." And then he responds, "But you will receive power from the Holy Spirit when the Holy Spirit comes upon you." Now, I was doing some verse mapping and word studies in this passage, and I loved a few of these words. Let me tell you first what I'm doing here. Where I didn't get a clean stamped image, I got my Fantastics out, which is it's just a little, it's almost like a pencil, but has a foam tip, and you could pick up the ink and fix your spots. So it works great for that, and then I just wipe that off. So now I'm taking the Victory stamps, the alpha set and the symbol set, and I'm going to stamp out the words for power and spirit, but I'm going to use the Greek spelling, the Greek word. And I'm using the Planetarium ink from Creative Retreat. The Greek word for power is dynamis. And the word dynamite comes from that same root word, and it means a miraculous force and energy. And that's the power that we receive from the Holy Spirit. It's a more powerful word than just power. And yes, that pun was intended. And now I'm going to stamp the word for spirit, which is from the root pneuma, which if you think of pneumonia or pneumatic tires, it means breath or wind. And the spirit here, it's pneumatos in this particular tense. It's that breath, it's that wind, it's that force that gives us that energy, that miraculous energy. And the verse goes on to say, when the Holy Spirit comes upon you. And that word comes was very impactful too, because it says it's eperkamai. Now, I have no idea how I'm pronouncing that, but the root is like epi, like the epicenter. It means it's leaving a lasting effect. So when the Holy Spirit comes upon us, he leaves a lasting effect. He leaves a lasting power. That power is lasting, and it's not our power, it's his, and he gives that to us. And then the verse goes on to say, and you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem and in all of Judea and Samaria and to the ends of the earth. What's really cool about that is that the word for witnesses is martus, which is where the word martyr comes from. So there may be times where we're persecuted for what we do and how we are witnessing for Jesus, but it's not that we're always going to be persecuted and die. Witnesses, martus means someone who has experienced. So we have experienced Jesus, and then we can share with the power of the Holy Spirit. And I love the progression here where it says in Jerusalem, that was local, and in all of Judea, which is the region, and Samaria, which is a neighboring region. But what was significant about Samaria is that they were mixed. They were discriminated against. And this is showing that we need to reach out to everyone. And then it says, and to the ends of the earth. So it goes from local to the earth. And that's our sphere of influence, the way that we can be witnesses for Jesus through the Holy Spirit, with the power of the Holy Spirit. And unless we have that power, and the apostles didn't have that power until the Holy Spirit came upon them. And it's that power that allows us to have a lasting effect and to be true witnesses for Jesus. So on screen here, I've just embellished with some of the stickers, the alpha stickers, and I brought in a little label. I've cut out some of the faith-filled digitals that I printed on clear sticker paper, and you'll see me add some embellishment in just a few moments. I use the backing to the devotional to make a tab. I love that beautiful print. And then I used the word power, and I made a tab up there. So my title here says, but you will receive power from the Holy Spirit. And I use those Greek words in there. I love these fonts, these alpha sets, the Victory, so that I can do this Greek. I'm such a word nerd, and I love being able to emphasize the Greek and just bring that in. So now I'm cutting out some other pieces just to dress this page up. I will leave some room for some journaling on here, and I'll do that off screen. So I'm cutting out just a few of these pieces here. I will have all the products linked in the description box. So if you want to check out any of those, if you have any questions about a product or about this process, be sure to mention that in the comment section. So I place these down. I haven't used clear sticker paper in a while, and I forgot how much I love it. It's just so easy to use, and it just really blends into the background, and it's beautiful, especially with these blue flowers. So I'm adding just a few of those hearts and outlining my elements. I think I need one more flower using the rule of threes, so I'm cutting that out, and I'm going to end up putting that over on the left side on the page with the text, and that's going to bring the whole spread together. And then I'll do my journaling off screen, and I also come in and add one more sticker after I've turned off the camera that says Spirit Living, because I felt like there was an empty spot and I needed to add to it. I added my bow up top, and now you can see some close-ups and still shots. You can see that Spirit Living and my journaling here. So this is a great kit, a great collection, and be sure to pick yours up. Make sure also that you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure to check out all the videos that are coming up and that have already been posted for this month using this collection. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.